Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is another fun-filled day. I think there's some business news out. What is it? Durable goods, that's it. And stock markets are starting to do a little bottom fishing. The one thing I guess I really want to start off with is, let's see, we got the right screen. Yeah, there it is. Where is it at? Right there. Let's move that over there. There we go. One thing I've noticed more than anything else in the last, 3 trading days is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is, we've talked about Bitcoin. I think last week we used it as a headline. I hope I did say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. If I didn't, I feel bad there too. But anyway, Bitcoin is. There's Robin. Hey, Robin. Everything work out yesterday? Hey, George. How you doing? Good morning to you too. But Bitcoin has been firm for the last couple of days. They've been really digging in its heels. Trying to, get things going. Matter of fact, that's why I have Bitcoin on here, and I have dollar index over on J4X. We're going to switch it around a little bit. We'll put the dollar index over here, and we'll throw some Bitcoin over there. But look at that. We've been in a daily buy for the last couple of days. Today's the fourth day, actually, now, and look at the weekly. It is compared to, say, a stock indice, like the S&P 500, which is trying to turn up. And I did see, look at that, the daily is actually trying to get through. And I did see, when it comes to the Tech 100, not only that, but I thought it was interesting to see the histogram lift up and get between the two, the nonlinear time manifold, the orange, the yellow lines. We don't need to use the official name here. But look at that. I thought yesterday was pretty passive, actually. So, Anvil, how you doing? Oh, good. There was only a couple of rejections. Let's see, who was it? Doc rejected. I got a Doc rejection. I'm trying to think who else got a rejection. One or two were not working right. But I'll figure it out later on. We'll talk about it. Anyhow, yeah, look at Bitcoin. I mean, wow. Something's brewing there, huh? We thought that Bitcoin could be the leader of the equity side. When equity starts to turn up, Bitcoin has a habit of turning up too, and sometimes making strong overtures. And I guess it was like 4 or 5 days ago, it tried to go plus by 300 points, and the stock market could barely budge. It moved, I think it was up 120, 130 points on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and then it rolled over. When it rolled over, they took it down, and that was it. I think that the Dow might have even been up like 200 points, something like that. So, anyhow, that's the gist of it all, really. It's really, in my head, it's like, we're seeing strength in Bitcoin for days, and the market is trying to dig its heels in again today. It's kind of like watching platinum. When platinum starts to, show its base, usually something is brewing there. Now there's Bitcoin. You can see it's just, is that the daily? Yeah, that's the daily. So it's just starting to join in. Look at that. J4X. But you can see the internals, well, I guess we could call the J4X internals. And that is this combination of what I call the overall view of, I call it Manhattan, because it's got some averaging here on the dailies. It's got some stochastics going on in here. And so that was kind of what the Manhattan Project was playing with their mainframe up at Stony Brook. And so you can see here, it's trying to lift up. It is. You can see it there. It's trying to lift. Anyhow, that is that. Let's put the dollar. There's the dollar index. You can see it this morning showing a little weakness here on the Chicago quant side of things. And I think it was still, what was it doing? Let's just take a look at it again on J4X right there. Not yet, but look at the green, the internals, and look how high it is. That thing is 88 point something. It's it's pushing. Not a lot more room to go. And if it starts to curve and starts to top out here a little bit, it's going to be hard for the dollar to top out. Really, really top out, because the world is in uncertainty when it comes to financing. But we can say this: Sweden, Great Britain, and now Italy have moved towards supply-side economics. They're moving towards the healthy growth way of growing things. Less, what's the word I'm looking for that's very polite? Besides socialism, I guess you could say they call. I don't want to use the F word, but it's let's say totalitarian instead of fascist. I used it. All right, but yeah, that's what it comes down to is growth. The only way we get out of any of this and any of these currency pairs start to become more dominant than the dollar is they need to grow. They need growth, not government growth. Government money is stealing money. We need private sector growth, where money is growing and looking for a profit. Anyhow, that's where we are. Let's jump over to the pairs trade. I guess that's a good idea. Let's jump over to the euro and see what the euro is doing this morning. And there it is right there. It is trying to turn up. No, that's the S&P 500. Let's open up the euro. Where is it at? Right there. Dukascopy day week. There we go. Let's open that up. Storm, you out there? I haven't seen you around in a couple days. There's the that's the NZD. That's the New Zealand. That's Kiwi, and there is the euro right there. It's trying to lift up. It's got a lot of work to do, doesn't it? And we're going to start seeing. Wait. It's like two women. I'm not even sure who's going to take over in Sweden, but for sure, two women now are running Italy, or going to be running Italy, and then one woman is already running England, Great Britain. So, capitalism is coming back. Hooray for us. What Margaret Thatcher used to say. She used to say, sooner or later you run out of, when you're spending money, you sooner or later run out of other people's money. Because that's pretty much what they're doing nowadays. They just keep on spending other people's money. They don't spend their own. They don't even, for 12 years, is it 12 years or 10 years, they wouldn't even pay on bonds. When you bought a government bond, you had to pay them. They didn't pay you. I mean, how bad is that? All right. So there you go. You see the cable right there. The cable's trying to lift too. And it's got a nice curve going on there. And you can see the histogram has come to move back up above the minus side of the time manifold there. And the weekly is going to have a lot more work to do. But I think it's a good sign. We'd like to see the dollar index and start to turn down. The thing is on a rampage. It's ridiculous, and at the same time, our politicians. I'll tell you this: the reason why I'm seeing this lift today is that polls came out yesterday, and they're exactly what I've been saying. I mean, exactly on extreme. Yo, 47, how you doing today? Hey, what's up? Nikai, konnichiwa. Well, here is the S&P 500 right there. You can see it's trying to lift, and we're getting through a daily. And the weekly is starting to pierce through the histogram side, is the minus side, not past the zero at all. What's today? Tuesday? We got a week. Anything could happen. They could get some legs into this action if they lift them up into the, another like 300 points, 200 points on the S&P. Something like that. So that's that. Let's go find Nikkei. Banzai. All right. There you go. Let's fix that. There we are. And as you can see, the strength is trying to come in there. Also at the same time, you can see the weekly is curving up. So there's something going on there. Let's just check them both out on J4X for you. See how we interpret it through that too. All right, there is the S&P 500. It's getting ready to turn. You can see the green line has turned like our green. And what do we got here? And we got the histogram. I'd imagine the Hinky ASCII bars will start to turn. That average will start to shift over the next couple hours with this action. And then let's take a look at Japan. There it is right there. Same thing, it's trying to get across the dashed line. And we still have red there also at the same time. So Doc's work is pointing, Chicago Quant is pointing that way, up. And I don't, I'm trying to think, but I'll tell you this. After the polls yesterday, it was bloody. It was bloody. They came out late in the afternoon, and they were, talked about. Money has to be looking at them and think, uh-oh. The Republicans are leading the Democrats in battleground states by 23 points. Yeah. Sitting Democrats in states that are considered battlegrounds, they're gone. At this point, they're projecting around 40-some-odd seats alone just with that. So, if we get that supermajority, the whole world changes in a matter of 6 weeks. 6 weeks, the whole world changes. It does. All right. From there, what do we got from there? We got, let's see, that's the Nikkei. What else we got to say about it? Not much more than that. It's been, in that weekly sell, let's crunch that up a little bit, see how it's been doing there. It's been in that weekly sell for a while. It's been marching down. Went to a sell one day, to buy, back in the sell. So it's been showing that pressure. Is that right? Something looks wrong there. There we are. Right price scale, okay, and gas line 3.5. Yeah, that seems right. Yeah, same thing there. Okay, just checking. All right, so yeah, there's been a lot more pressure than anything else, and maybe maybe it's time for it to come to an end. S&P seems to hit some resistance. It was kind of curious on the S&P. I did find it very curious. Look at the way it's bouncing off of this stuff here. People thought that this was a crash city thing, but it has not yet. And just sitting there for 3 days, bouncing off the 60 area or 57 area or whatever that you want to call it. It'll be interesting to see if it holds up, or they try to do another leg. But the polls themselves are confirming what we've been talking about for months upon months. And that is that there's going to be some type of change of government here in the States that's only for the better financially. Less central control, less one-size-fits-all, one less totalitarian type of dictator thing going on. We're going to move back to capitalism where individuals and not crony pals get the contracts type of thing. So, right. Then from there, we go back over to the currencies, and let's take a look at the Swiss. Did we look at the cable over here? I think we did. So let's look at the Swiss. There's the Swiss, and it's lifting, also doing the same thing. See if we move this down a little bit, like that. There we are. You can see that same thing over here on Chicago Quant. Last I looked, it was up and away, and it is down. It's down for the day now, and they're trying to, push this thing. And you can see the same thing with the time manifolds. Look at that. It's going, it's jumping. It be jumping, as Bob Marley would say. It be jumping. It be jumping. And, Duppy and a gunman. And you can see here we're doing the same thing. That the time manifold's getting some real legs into it. Look at that. So, maybe coming out on a topping there. In this case here, that is this. If we start to see that moving down, and Bitcoin moving up, well, maybe then we're going to start seeing some action on the upside, and maybe the dollar will back off a little bit. You can see the weekly. It's hanging out in the buy side of it all. And then, let's see what else we got going. And then we go over to, let's see, where's it at? Let's go to the Turkish lira. Let's see what the Turkish lira is doing. We'll throw the dollar Turkish lira up on here. Right there. 1848. It's kind of where it was yesterday, as I remember. And right there. Yeah, yesterday's high was 47. Today's high is 51. Still in that daily buy for a few days here now. This is the 5th day. And obviously we've been in a weekly buy since February, halfway through February. So there's a lot of I don't believe value type thing going on with that when it comes to dollar Turkish lira. Just keeps on finding ways to lose value against the dollar. Now let's take a look at it through real trading as far as I'm concerned. And that is the euro Turkish lira. You can see that it's moving down. And you can see it's in a sell for the last, what's that, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Perking up a little bit today. And a weekly sell for throughout that whole time period. So that's been a really great trade from if you sold it at 18.28 and you could buy it back at 17.63. To me, that's a winner chicken dinner. Hope we're answering all the questions and so forth. Let's see, where do we go from here? Let's go over to the Canadian. So we'll put Canadian on this screen. Ooh, that's trying to work its way back up again. There's the Canadian. It is down a little bit. And let's put oil up over here on J4X, and then we'll reverse them out. So there's light Texas sweet crude. It's up for the day. It's up about $1 and what's it? Up $1, up $1 or something like that. And so you can see that, it's not reflecting it yet on J4X, but over here on Chicano Quant, there it is right there. You see it is trying to lift up. It's also acting the same way as it is on J4X. It's red, and it's below the 0 line. And the weekly is laughing at it. Went into the weekly in the 82.5, 83 area with a high of 88, 84 area, low of 84. So somewhere's in there you got a sell because we're in a daily sell too. And then this thing rolled over like a puppy dog looking for a pet. And the low was 76.25 yesterday. So $8 drop. There's another winner chicken dinner. All right. What else we got going on here? So let's do this. Let's reverse it out. Let's put Canadian there. Right? No, we put Canadian up over here. That's what it is. Put Canadian here and leave dollar or leave the crude over there. There we go. Now, like I said yesterday, I thought we were going to hang around in the low 90s. We're underneath a little bit, like 88, but we got down to 76. That's a lot of pressure. No growing. Oh, I saw an interesting headline that that caught my eye. That kind of insinuates stuff. The Silk Road, the Chinese have put like $1 trillion into it, and they said they're going to stop now. They're not going to put any more money out. They don't see it at the moment as worth still pursuing at the moment. They'll probably try to go back to it. But building roads from one socialist country to another doesn't exactly grow anything. So it makes it very tough. They really need to do capitalism to get some growth going. And then there's that weird thing I showed you on Monday. Was it yesterday morning? Yeah, I showed you where Chi seems to have fallen off the scope. There's talk that he's arrested, and there's all kinds of talk over the weekend that he's he's been arrested and he's locked up and this and that. I'm a little surprised he hasn't come out and said something like, I'm not arrested. Here I am. I am still president for life. So every day that goes by that he does not say something, so it makes it a little confusing. For you China lovers out there who think China is, the center of the next universe of finance. I'm not so sure about that. Well, maybe if there's a coup, maybe there is. Then it could be a chance. Maybe they realize that this socialism, communism doesn't work. So it's possible. And then China would look better. All right, from there we go to South African Rand. Right there. And so you see the Rand looks like it's backing off. It's moving down, so you would have to assume gold is moving up. So let's put the gold up over here. And you can see gold is up, but we're still away from the daily buy. The weekly doesn't look much better, that's for sure. I mean, it's trying to curve, but it's not curving enough to excite us and see growth. But we are seeing that type of action go on now. So gold is, last week I thought we had it, and we're seeing strength in it today, and that could be literally could be part of it. Now, most of the mainstream media over here in the financial world, minus the business channel that I watch, is talking about basically socialism. In other words, they said that because of the Prime Minister of England lowering taxes, she is wrecking the economy. I'm so confused when they say stuff like that, and they're a business channel at the same time. It's like, are you kidding me? You're a business channel and you say that stuff? It's like, why do you say that stuff? That's too weird. So, anyhow, what else can we say about any of that? I guess that's about it, really. Where we go from there? We can jump over to, we can do the reverse too. Did we show you what gold is doing over in J4X? Let's see. There's gold. Yeah, still moving down, and the lines are still moving down. So it's just us kind of moving with a curve up, as you can see right there. It hasn't done anything like going to a buy or anything like that, but that's pretty much the game, I guess you could say. All right, from there we go to where do we go from there? Let's go over to the Japanese yen. There's the yen right there. And it's still lifting up. You can see it's coming. It's not that high up, really. It's only in the 60s. And at the same time, over here on Chicago Quant, they lifted it up and put it into a buy, 2 days ago now? It's 2 days ago. This is the second day in a buy. Yeah. So it went into the buy. Let's steal one of these buys. Put it right there. So it went into the buy yesterday, and it's just hanging up there now. Move that over like so. Let's get rid of that other part of it. There we are. There we go. So you can see there, it's turning up more. Move that one back over like that. And it's trying, and we're through, and we're in the weekly buy, and wow, that's kind of like the S&P, and in some ways, like, building that base again, like they're going to lift it up again. It's like, whoa, and you would think that the Nikkei, well, we did see the Nikkei. The Nikkei was trying to get through the daily buy, so that's pretty cool. So they are coming in for that, as much as that the currency itself has locked itself up in this area for the time being, for the last 3 weeks. Banzai. All right. What do we got next? Let's go to south of the border here in the States, and that is the Mexican peso. And we've been seeing it climb and climb and climb. It's up in the 70s here, with two stochastics battling with each other. Now let's check her out over here. Right there. You see the same thing. It's now up to the 0.618. So it's trying to climb from its lows, and it didn't touch the black line there. Let's go back to it. There it is, the black line. So now it's going to park itself here. Maybe it'll go and... Whoa, no, I didn't mean to move that. There we are. We want to grab that and stick it right there so you can see it. Mexican peso. So you got... well, let's grab a green. Maybe it'll do a green. Let's see if it does a green. Yep, there it does green. And so it's the fourth... No, let's see. It's the third day. There's a volatility signal there. And then obviously it went into the buy with no problem at the beginning of the day instead of the end of the day with that strength. And you can see 3 weeks of buying there too. And last week they did pull themselves out of falling into a sell, which was kind of impressive. It was the weekly. So the money came rushing in and said, "No, I don't think so. We want up and away." All right. So from there, we've completed the currencies. If anybody cares to see another currency, just give us a yell and we'll take a look at it. And at this point, we're going to go look at the metals complex. Let's see. There's gold. And let's see how silver looks now. There's silver. It's plus for the day. Hinkies are trying to turn, and it's reaching a good bottom in here on the J4X. And then... let's find it over here on Chicano. Same situation. The weekly. Robin's been watching this. He's got the. He's watching the RSI, and so. And if anybody wants to compare our math to some particular product you're following, just say so. We'll put it up on there just to give you a flavor of how it functions. You can see the RSI does a fair job. It's made a bottom down in here, which was kind of cool. In that area, right there where the 3 reds were. And then we got into a buy, and it's climbing. There's no doubt about that. There, the RSI. And, then we got that nice move all the way up to, that was that big winner chicken dinner move there. But we're in a sell, so it's like one thing's for sure, you're not short. Now, if you had a binary on or you're long calls or something like that, that's cool. Or spreads, but being hard delta, you got to be careful there. Now you can see, we've been jumping. Let's see, it's one of those sell buy sell spots right there, and the sells have been okay, a little profitable, but nothing major. And then all of a sudden it gave us a volatility signal in that sell still. And crush. Boom, bang, slam. It's kind of like a Batman TV show with all those things there. Little band-aids start to appear on longs, that type of thing. So there it is with silver. Let's check out copper. See, that would I wonder if that's going to explain something too. I mean, we saw this drop off here. They started to run it, and then they slammed it down. I wonder if copper was picking up on what was going on in this possible political situation in China. See, we don't know. So, I mean, there's no... I saw someone describe it yesterday. They said something like... Or I guess it was Sunday night. They said something like, there are no freelance writers floating around that you can trust, because the government controls it all. So there's no way of knowing if any of it's true. There was jokes and some odd videos, but nothing real. And you would think maybe Cheeth figures not to say anything at all. You don't say anything, then nobody takes it serious, that type of thing. And then, he'll pop up one day out of nowhere, and then everybody will have like egg on their face or something like that. Like, oh no, he wasn't in jail. All right. From copper, we saw platinum yesterday. Oh, well, let's look at it anyway, just because of the way things are trying to turn up. Meh. Meh. Just kind of sideways, nothing really going on. It's up a little bit for the day. The weekly still looks anemic. It's been in the weekly sell now for, which is kind of curious. It's been in the weekly sell for that whole slide, basically. On the up. So it goes into a buy here. And you don't get long. You take your, this is a loser chicken dinner for sure. Right there. Let's put a square in there. Because it's in the sell. I guess you could say it's in the sell from right there. And you take, if you got short, that's the second. What is that? The sixth. Okay, so it goes into a sell. Again, it was in the sell here and it goes down, but it was in a weekly buy. So this is really trapped in all kinds of crazy. And then it tried to get into the weekly buy last week and didn't work. And you can see it, gets in the buy here. I think it's move one over, right? Yeah, so like that. It gets in the buy right there. So you're more than likely you lose this. Somewhere's in here, you lose some of that. So you got to give up a profit somewhere. That's why we say 8.5 out of 10 times. You can't be right all the time. And you see that it climbs up, and we watch it from a distance, shaking our heads. Now that's not there. That's sell. Let's move that over. And that's not there either. And then the first sell is right there. Because look at this. It's a red and a green right there. Let's move one of these guys over. Maybe it'll help a little bit to represent that. No. It isn't a sell. That pushes it into the sell right there. Okay, so it does go in a sell there. And then the buy is right there. But you can't take it, of course. And if you did take that sell, it made back almost what you gave up over here in the box. So at this point, let's see. At this point, what we have is the what is that? That's the platinum. Breaking down, I guess that's the best way to look at it. Would be nice to see the platinum get back into that weekly buy. What I need to check is this gap. That was one vicious gap. The 22nd to the 23rd. Let me check that. I just want to take a quick look at that from the exchange side of it. I'm going to go onto the exchange website and just see if that gap is really there. There. What is that? What month is that? That is October, right? Rocktober. Nah, that's wrong. It wasn't a big gap. It was even worse. The high is like 908. What do they have here? They have a high of 868. So no, that needs to be fixed. We will go after that and repair that. Let's see. And platinum says it's NYMEX. And platinum rock. There it is. Because let's see what it, more than likely the pressure will be even more on the weekly. You never know. Sometimes, it averages itself out, straightens out itself. And that's what's usually really odd about it all. Alright, let's fix that. Is that right? So that's 22nd. Is that 22nd right there? Yeah, that's 22nd. Okay. So it's the 23rd we're trying to fix. Alright, that's cool. And the high was 8. There we go. And was the settlement right? 58, not 52. Okay, we'll make it that. There we are. Now let's see what happens. Looks like it fixed it. There we go. So yeah, the sell was cool. So that caught that whole slide. And what else can we say about any of those things? I guess the I think the weekly moved up from that, didn't it? It's above the manifold, or the negative side of the manifold, that is. So now we just need the green here on the weekly to turn up. Okay, that's enough fun. We straightened that out. That makes me feel good. All right, from there we jump over to, let's see, we did copper plant. Oh, we go over to the energy sector now. Let's check out the energy sector. So there is crude, that's spot, and it's trying to lift up. But the weekly is still weak. And let's put it up over here. Brent is at 85 now. It's lifting up too. And what else can we say about that? Well, you can see here it's down to the 19s when it comes to the stochastics. So they're starting to put some type of bottom in there. And then, remember, if they do get a majority, super majority, not just majority, they already got the majority. They get a super majority, everything's opened up. Drilling, transporting natural gas, I mean, all of it is lit up. They'll light it all up. Let it all happen. It'll be capitalism back in the saddle again. All right. So there's Brent. Over here is crude. Let's take a look at the back month. This is trading at, what is that? It's trading at 78 right now. So let's see where January is trading. Right there. Right there, 76. $1.35 difference. Okay. But look at the weekly. It's still pressing down. And the daily's been in a sell since here. Hasn't been pretty, but, you know, that's all right. You're in a weekly sell and a daily sell. You got to figure out some way to make money out of it. Stock market's still kind of smooth. I like the way it's being smooth. It's been as high as up. The Dow Jones has been up like around 300 and some odd points. You know, low 300s. Now it's at 242. It's gone back up to like 290 during the webinar. Now, you know, it was down at 232, and they're showing some strength. S&Ps are up 40. That's pretty big. And the Nasdaq, or the Tech 100, is up 158. So they are buying the stocks softly. And let's see where Bitcoin is. I think we'll do that after we do the. We'll do this. We'll go look at. I'm thinking they're buying it because they're seeing the numbers I'm seeing. But let's take a look at natural gas. It's been on a slide. Ooh, look at it. I forgot. That's right. They're trying to take it up. It just missed going into the buy yesterday. Look at that right there. Minus 0.02. And the weekly is looking not pretty. It's in a daily sell for these things here. So it was a little winner. Now it's shifting gears. I guess the best you can say about natural gas is it is playing with moving up somewhere. Now it's at $6.97, you know, basically $7. And we have seen this thing trading at $9 and $9.50. So almost $10, no more than the end of August. So that's pretty impressive. 4 weeks ago. So it's lost 30% from its highs. Let's put it up over here. Nat gas, where are you, Nat gas? There it is right there. So it's trying to fall down. Yeah, see, it was way up here. It was up to $10. And at the same time, you can see it's doing its little bounce right there. And at the same time, we go and look now at that Spanish company. It was trading at what, 2504 or something like that yesterday. Maybe today we're going to see. It looks like it's a little firm, so I'd imagine it's still around the 2530s area or something like that. There it is, right there. 2522. That makes sense. Boy, I'd love to see that thing fall into the 22s and 23s. That would be great. Europe could use that extra little bump. That'll help out things. All right, now from there we go over to the stock indices, and we're going to start right off with Bitcoin. See if it's popping up anymore. Right there. It is. It's over 20,000 now. Looking very firm. The weekly's so close. There's the down the S&P 500. It's trying to turn right there. So the stock indices are telling us that there is an attempt to turn. And then every turn. Okay, and there it is right there. You can see it. Big green hinky. So they are trying to buy this thing. Money is trying to come in. It's anticipating good news again, and that's always nice. Like I said, we've been very disappointed about the whole event, really. It's been kind of sad in many ways, but maybe now we're going to get into a little bit more capitalism again, which is a nice thing. As I take my sip of tea here. All right. From there we go over to the S&Ps. Just a quick look at them one more time, and then we'll jump right to the NQs. It's giving us a volatility signal and flirting a little bit here. Weekly's trying to come up and touch the echo. NQs right there. And there's right there. Trying to lift up. You see that? But just a little green right there. Reds haven't turned yet. Give it another hour, couple hours. Now let's take a look at the Tech 100 right there. Same situation, and it's turning up faster. Yeah, I thought, like I said earlier, I thought that the Tech 100 yesterday did not really get sold that hard. I mean, at one point it did, but it really rallied back pretty aggressively by the end of the day. As you can see right here. If we go like this, you can see that right there. It's very close. There was a close. It was below its opening, but very close. So it tried to lift up yesterday. There's no doubt about that. Let's see. From there, we go over to the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is doing the same thing with a little volatility signal, but not through yet. And the weekly is still trying to turn itself up. So that's seeing the same type of pressure. Let's put it over here on J4X to see if there's any change. Nothing so far, just the same thing here. It's trying to turn up. But we're not getting any buy signal yet. And that would make sense. There's a lot of money out there that wants to join in. And the money managers, as we always say, it's amazing. Even on my favorite business channel, I don't hear someone say, I mean, they do. What's his name? Charles Payne talks about it. But, at 2 o'clock our time, Eastern Standard. But pretty much I don't hear anybody saying, oh, man, have you had your collars on for the last, few months, collecting your dividends, that type of thing? No one ever talks about that. They talk about getting rid of your stock, like selling your stock. Why? Put a collar on. Who cares if the stock was $100 and now it's trading at $3? If you have a collar option on, collar on a shirt, if it was $100 stock and it's trading at $5 a share now, well, the stock lost $95, and the collar probably made like $85 or $90. So you lost $4 or $5. Okay, and you're collecting your dividends still, and you don't have that tax situation. So taxes make you change the way you do things investment-wise. All right. From there, let's see. So that's the Dow Jones Industrial Average on both screens. So, last but not least, let's go over and take a look at the Russell 2000. That can be an insight. It's a very weak group of stocks, all 2,000 of them. You can see it's trying to turn up also, doing that basing thing right there. And the weeklies in its sell there are not really showing any strength either. So, but this is the low cap companies. So in other words, there's 2,000 of them in this index, and there's a good chance that out of one of those 2,000 or two of those 2,000, they could be the next Microsoft. Yep, that's what it is. Now you got to buy all 2,000 of them to figure that out. All right, from there, let's see. Let's just look at interest rates. There's the 30-year bond. It's up a little bit today. And you see it's trying to bounce. It's been in a sell since here. So there's been a lot of winner chicken dinners. But they're not really... What's this? Category 3 hurricane. Ian heads towards Floridonia. I don't know. I see the satellite shot. It looks like it's breaking up. But that's all right. Let them be prepared. It's better to be prepared. Yeah, I don't... I'm not really, the interest rates, we talked about this yesterday and the day before, or the Friday and so forth. I mean, the interest rates are up in the 4s now in a lot of products. So, and in the 30 years, like 3.7 or something like that, 3.65. So, it's backing away. There's a definite contango going on there. Interest rates are trying to bottom. We're assuming we'll see another 3/4 point. I think that's in the market. I mean, Mr. Powell made it very clear that November Schmember, or that's the way they say it on the TV shows and the cartoons. November, is not going to hold them back from cranking that puppy up. Crank that puppy up. Raise those rates. Kill that economy. It's really weird. If he'd only come out and just say, government, stop spending money. I'm not going to give you cash to borrow. That'd be better off than him raising rates and trying to destroy the economy. But he's a political creature. He's afraid of getting blamed for something or getting yelled at or fired or whatever, So it's too bad. All right. From there, what do? We go to, we've already looked at, and we did look at the Bitcoin and all. So we've looked at all the stock indices. We can see the interest rates. There's a 10-year. 10 years doing the same thing. It's trying to lift. So we've seen overall that, money is trying to come into this market. And those polls that came out last night have to have a lot of them all freaked out going, well, I think they've been trying to buy all the way through this. Let's put it this way. If Democrats were holding the government, I think they'd be selling the daylights out of this market. Forget about 25% down or 20% down. I think it'd be like 40 or 45% down. All right. What else can we say? I guess that's about it. We looked at the back months and that. Okay. So, we've done the currencies. How about if we go over to intraday and see what they're doing with that? That's always fun to look at. And if anybody sees any particular product they want to see, shout it out and we'll go after it. But there it is right there. Now they're loading them up. Let's see what that says. There you go. That's the Bitcoin looking very... It's at 20,200 now. Up $1,000 today. And you can see NQs are up 157 points. right there. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 251 points. It's in a little intraday sell at the moment. You see that pressure building on it. So another little profit taking. Same thing with the Bitcoin. And the same thing with the NQs. But now it's trying to get plus again. Let me see how many days back this is going to. That's the S&P 500. So there's that. And then the S&P, last I looked, was up 40 points. Let's see. Nikkei up 140. That's cool. Now the real action here is that the fact that the NQs, this far left corner one in the intraday, is trying to lift because that's very interest rate sensitive. So in other words, if that starts to climb, you would assume bonds are going up at the same time. And usually they follow bonds. They don't lead bonds. But there could be companies that need to get long something in there, and they're going to front run it. They might just jump in and buy some of that, seeing just there's firmness in the bonds. But the stories are basically, 42 points now, the S&P 500 is. Let's see if we can fix that. Like that. Let's see what that is. Yeah, okay. All right. So that should be that's it when it comes to the stock indices. I'm trying to think if anybody want to see something like Tesla or something like that. We could do that. That could be interesting. Let's see what the Tesla looks like. Right. Let's see. Open workspace. Right there. Let's see. That's lifting. It went into a buy yesterday. There's Tesla trying to get into a buy today. Put that cute little green line in there like that. Push that up like so. And look at the weekly. The weekly is trying to lift too. Right there. There we are. So they're definitely trying to buy that. That's for sure. That's kind of interesting to see the Tesla getting some life into it also. And that's what we were hoping for too, is that, start to, it went into the sell a couple days ago, and the weekly has been underneath throughout most of that. But, not much of a good setting. Just a fair setting. Yeah, just a fair profit like yesterday. They didn't really take it down too hard yesterday. What was the low? The low was 270. Day before it settled at 275. It's only a $5 move. PayPal. Okay, let's find PayPal. Find PayPal. Let me see if I can find the symbol on that. Let's go with like that. PayPal. Stock. Trading at, there it is, PYPL. So let's find that. I thought we've looked at that before too. It's one of the largest banks in America now. PYPL. Let's just make up one more. Let's do this. Close. Copy. Paste. There we are. What was that? PYPL. That's still loading. There we are. PY. There it is. We got it. You must have asked for it before. I know we've seen it before. PY PL. Okay. Let's see how long that takes. I see the stock right now quoted at 84.26, but that was yesterday. So it settled down almost $3. Let's see if it's going to jump out on us here and get that in. Let's see if we can do this. Remember, it hasn't opened yet, too. It doesn't open for another 2.5 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. So we'll stay on until PayPal opens up. Let's see what else can we put up here. See if we can change the time frame. Let's see. Let's go like that. Let's do a default. See if that does it. No, that didn't load it either. 24/7. Nope, that didn't do it either. How about excuse me. How about just regular? See if that does it. Regular trading hour. So in other words, in 2 minutes, it's going to turn on. So if I go like that and try to get pre-market, let's see if we can get pre-market. Usually we can. With, let's see, stocks with post-market. Stocks with pre-market. There we are. We should see something in 1 minute and 35 seconds. That'll be interesting. I'm surprised it's not coming up. PYPO. It's establishing a connection. That's nice of them. And at the same, let's see if I can get this up on Yahoo. Yahoo, there we are. Yeah, let's do it inside trading. Save. There we are. So we put it inside trading folder. Right there. And move it up like so. There it is. Right there. Let's see what PayPal says on there. PYPL. No, that didn't do it. Let's try that one more time. And there goes the bell in about 25 seconds. PYPL. There we go. So there's pre-market. It's up $1.18 at 85.44. And we've got 12 seconds, and it should kick out, and we'll be able to see something from there. We'll see it in a few seconds. There is the bell. And let's see. Why are they not reflecting that? Why is PayPal being a drag? What if we just put regular hours in there now? Huh. Interesting. No calculation. Just that the stock is up about $1.18. We'll watch and wait. Oh, here it is. There you go. You got it. So there's PayPal. We can get rid of that. It's still in a weekly sell. Went into the weekly sell 3 weeks ago. There we go. And the buy is way back there, and we can get rid of that one too. Remove. There we are. And it wasn't a sell from right there on a daily. So for that action, the buy matches up. And that's interesting. This is the Tesla we're looking at. The ones that were the lines of Tesla. So that's buy right there. That sell is right there. That buy is right there. And that sell is back there. So the buy there was a loser. And the buy here made it back. The buy here made it. Oop. The buy here made it. And now it's been in the sell. And that was a winner. So that's where it's at now, trading at 85.57. So we'd like to see. We'll leave that in there. We can check it out by the end of the week to see if it finds a way to get into the buy. All right, traders, we're out of here. No problem. 47. This is Doc from North America. Catch you all tomorrow on Happy Hump Day. So, happy trails to you until we meet again tomorrow. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. It's early in the morning here still, so it's buongiorno.